And so this is where we think Ciitizen can be useful to the rare disease community. So at its core, Ciitizen is a patient-mediated SaaS platform that allows users to collect and store their medical records. Ciitizen then turns these medical record documents into computable, digital, and relevant data sets that can then be shared at the user's direction. So to break this out, we see a very cute little girl here at the top left-hand corner. The caregiver would make a request to the institution on behalf of that individual. We then leverage the HIPAA right of access to collect all of that patient's medical records. And then you'll see here, we really collect everything. We get the clinic notes, we get procedure notes, we get genetic test results, and we also collect DICOM imaging files as well, which can be useful if there is an imaging finding that's relevant for your disease. We then use machine learning and natural language processing assisted extraction to identify defined data elements. We have a human review component for quality assurance and quality control. And then as a result, we take these unstructured medical record documents and turn them into a file format that's structured, it's coded, you can query it, and you can port it. Most importantly, all of this happens with the individual's consent. So none of this process would occur without the express consent and approval of the individual on whose behalf we're collecting these medical records. And then, just for transparency, I always like to show this slide, because I think it's important for you guys to know exactly who we are and what we do. So we have a few different people who use our platform. First and foremost is always the patient. So when a user signs up to our platform, they are given access to their medical records all in one place, which I'm sure many of us know is not always that easy. And then they also get access to a summarized medical history, and all of this is done free of charge. Notably, they can then share that profile and those medical records with anyone whom they would like to, whether that's another caregiver, a provider to facilitate a second opinion, or to donate it for research purposes. We also partner with academic institutions. So when an individual has consented to share their data, we will license those de-identified data sets to academic research initiatives free of charge. Again, we really don't want to be a roadblock in facilitating important research. As you know, we also partner with advocacy groups in order to generate population level data and also to support registries. And then lastly, we do partner with biopharma. So with consent, we will license data sets to industry sponsors, and this is ultimately how we're generating revenue to be able to do the work that we do.
Thank you, Elli and Nasha. We are first in line, but we are not guinea pigs. So this is doubly exciting, right? Ciitizen is going into rare, and there's 4 or 5 groups, rare groups starting on September 1st. We are very lucky to be one of them. So we are in the first cohort of rare groups, but Ciitizen didn't just wake up last week, hire Elli and do rare. Ciitizen, ever since, as Nasha alluded, ever since Anil's sister, Tanya, had that breast cancer and died of it, Ciitizen's been in the space for 2 years doing this work for breast cancer. So the art and science of medical letter correction, the normalization, the software, the dashboards, the patient engagement, go to their website, look closely at all the people they're working with. This is a world-class company led by a successful technologist who's passionate about medical records, and they've made the mistakes already, if they made any, and they've learned the lessons, and now we have the benefit of all that expertise for our kids. So I think that's an important point I'd like to drive home. Don't worry. I want to just share this press release from the FDA that they were really excited about. They awarded 2 grants for a natural history study in rare disease. This is dated 2019. They awarded $4 million for 2 studies over 4 years. So our options as a community are, hope to God we get in that queue that gets that money to wait 4 years so we can fly around and poke and prod our kids with a bunch of tests they've already had. Or we can do this. First, good luck winning that lottery. Second, I don't want to wait 4 years. And as Elli wisely started, you can't run a clinical trial without knowing what you're measuring. And that's what we're going to figure out with this data.